One July evening, the hill country sky cracked open and poured out more rain than the Guadalupe Valley normally sees in a month. Within 6 frantic hours, rivers swelled 38 feet, bridges snapped like breadsticks, and the children's summer paradise, Camp Mystic, collapsed beneath a brown, surging tide. 121 lives are already confirmed lost, dozens more remain unaccounted for, and entire towns look as if they were erased with an angry swipe of a sponge. Yet as the floodwater slides back toward the Gulf, another slower wave begins to rise, one made of people, not water, and its crest could hit every major city in Texas. Kerr County residents woke to sirens that fizzled into silence when the power failed. By the time daylight returned, Hunt's Main Street sat 10 feet underwater, its storefront signs barely poking above the current. At Camp Mystic, counselors formed human chains to hustle cabins of girls uphill. Many made it, too many did not. A single mud-stained sandal wedged in a cedar branch now stands in for a future never lived. Rapid disasters rarely linger on network news, but this one left tens of thousands with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Insurance policies exclude act of God flood damage. FEMA grants top out at $44,000, and the average hill country rebuild estimate is north of $180,000. For families already walking the margin between paycheck and overdraft, the equation just doesn't add up. They pack what's dry, pile into aging pickups, and aim for Houston, Dallas, Austin, any place with a vacant motel room. That's where the second crisis begins. Long before the sky cracked open, Texas was struggling to shelter its most vulnerable neighbors. The latest federal estimate counted more than 27,000 Texans without a permanent roof, and nearly half, about 11,700 souls, were sleeping in tents, cars, or doorways. Over the past year alone, homelessness in the state jumped 12%, mirroring a national climb to the highest level ever recorded. Shelters in Austin and Houston were running at 90+% capacity last spring, buoyed only by pandemic-era grants that expire in December. Outreach workers spoke of controlled chaos. Now those same beds must stretch to absorb parents fresh out of flooded houses. In disaster math, 10 families upstream quickly become 50 unsheltered individuals downstream. Picture an overbooked ER on a Saturday night. That's what Texas's homelessness system feels like right now. Case managers cap workloads at 40 clients. Some are juggling 80. Motel vouchers that once lasted a month now cover a week, if they exist at all. Meanwhile, state lawmakers debate whether to renew the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, a decision that could determine whether 8,000 rental units get built or shelved. Then there's the financial drag. Dallas County's 2023 study pinned the public cost of homelessness, emergency medical care, shelter operations, jail stays, at roughly $43,900 per person per year, totaling nearly $194 million locally. Multiply that figure statewide once flood refugees arrive, and the price tag competes with school funding or highway repairs. The ledger bleeds red ink even before a single additional storm cloud gathers. But dollars aren't the only stress test ahead. When water chooses a path, it often follows the contours of poverty. Low-income and black households are twice as likely to occupy floodplains, usually in homes built long before modern code. Many carried no flood insurance. Premiums had already spiked after Hurricane Harvey. Now their neighborhoods sit beneath a layer of silt, and relocation options depend on savings that vanished with the family photo albums. Houston's industrial east side, still rebuilding from 2021's freeze, braces for a surge of new faces vying for the same dwindling stock of low-rent apartments. Rising demand means landlords can raise prices across the board, nudging working-class tenants toward the curb. A local crisis silently becomes a statewide pressure cooker. Governor Abbott called the deluge nobody's fault, but grieving parents disagree. Early warning sirens in several hill country counties dated back to the Clinton era. Some failed outright when lightning flattened transformers. FEMA's updated flood risk maps for Harris County won't publish until 2026, leaving insurers to guess and homeowners to hope. Meanwhile, social feeds erupt with questions. Why did Camp Mystic have no public address system after dark? How did a summer camp house 550 children beside a river historically known to jump its banks? Political theatre flares, hearings are scheduled, and behind every committee gavel stands a family wanting an answer that won't bring their child back. Answers may soothe outrage, but they won't build roofs. Disaster experts whisper about a room for the river approach, inspired by the Netherlands. Buy out chronically flooded properties, convert them into green corridors, and channel surges into harmless basins. It's bold, expensive, but cheaper than rebuilding the same house 3 times. The first statewide flood mitigation plan, unveiled last year, called for $54 billion in projects. Only 4% is funded. On the human side, advocates push for modular micro-villages similar to the ones Seattle deployed. Clusters of prefab tiny homes plus shared kitchens and case management offices. Setup takes weeks, not months, and offers stability long enough for families to regroup before sliding into chronic street homelessness. But every day of bureaucratic delay adds new names to the waiting list. School resumes in 6 weeks. If children displaced by the floods start the academic year without an address, data show they're twice as likely to repeat a grade and far more likely to drop out by high school. That single statistic turns a natural disaster into a generational one. FEMA mobile registration centers hum with long lines. A caseworker estimates that only 1 in 3 eligible survivors has completed the paperwork. Churches convert fellowship halls into dorms. Non-profits scramble to stock hygiene kits. Volunteers ferry pets to makeshift kennels because landlords rarely accept them. Each small fix buys time, yet the clock keeps ticking. Floods recede. Mud dries. News crews move on. But human displacement lingers like humidity under August sun. Tonight, somewhere along Interstate 35, a minivan crammed with 4 generations creeps toward Dallas, headlights blinking through road spray. They believe a cousin of a friend might have space in his garage. Multiply that scene by a few thousand and you see the real storm gathering. Texas must decide whether this becomes a story of permanent loss or of resilience engineered in real time. Because the water may be gone, but the tide hasn't even crested yet. And the question that matters now is simple. When the next cloudburst comes, will we still be bailing with teaspoons?